What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout, and I'm here with Learn to Play Starter Broly, the ultimate guide for learning the Starter Broly deck in Fusion World. Guys, I hope this gets you prepared for the pre-release event for the Starter Deck Tournament. But before we begin this video, huge shout out to the Coffee Club, our lovely patrons. These are our $2 and up patrons. They buy us coffee. They keep this crazy content grind going. And guys, thanks a lot for your support. If you wish to join the Coffee Club, link to a Patreon is in the description below. And I think that's about everything. Roll the video! As with all of our videos, let's start with a breakdown. So in this video, I'm gonna give you a brief archetype breakdown. I'll show you some lines of play and interactions. I'll show you a deck list. That's a good blueprint for building upon it. Might not be fully optimized, but it's a good starting point. And then I'm gonna show you the first 3 turns with the deck. And we'll just wrap it up with a summary. Let's go! What is our game plan with Starter Broly? So Starter Broly is a Saiyan ramp deck. We ramp very fast to generate a ton of energy very early on in the game. One thing that Broly has and no other leader has in the entire game is that he's 25k instead of 20k when he awakens. And being a 25k power leader puts this deck in a very strong position. We will talk about this a lot in the video. 25 is huge. Alright, let's start by checking out our leader. Let's start with our leader. On the front side, he is Broly, green, 15k Saiyan. When you attack, you draw. So it's super standard. However, he has a very unique awakening. Awaken at 4 or less, add 1 card from your life to your energy in rest mode. Then flip this card over. So yeah, you lose a life permanently. You go from 4 to 3, but you get to place one of your lives into your energy. You basically ramp when you do this. It's risky, but the payoff is very great. On the awakened side, our leader is really weird. So he doesn't draw anymore. He has activate main once per turn. We KO one of our energies, then we get to draw, and he becomes 30k. That's right, 30k. He's 25k baseline. He is colossal. Now you might think, hey, it's just 5k. It's not a big deal. No, the buff is massive. Some decks will really struggle against you. And we will explore how this buff actually works a little bit further into the video. Actually, fuck it, let's do it immediately. So, how big is 25k? So, passively being a 25k baseline leader is really huge. The thing that you need to understand, and the thing that I throw at you in every single video, is thresholds. So let's talk about power thresholds, because you need to understand them to fully realize how big of a buff this is. Okay, so we need to talk about average power per cost. So power per cost relation. I have talked about this in a different video, but guys, every video is someone's first video, so please bear with me. So first off, 2 costs are usually 15k. 3 costs are between 20 and 25. 4 is 30, 5 is 35. So as you can see here, power increases in jumps of 5k and 10k between costs. More often than not, 5k power equals to 1 cost increase for below 4 cost cards. So if a card gets plus 5k, it usually moves to a higher cost level from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3. So you can think of 5k in most cases as plus 1 cost. That's what I'm trying to explain here. It is a bit weird, please stick with me, it will become much clearer. Now that you understand power levels per cost, let's look how this relates to Broly's 25k power. So right out of the bat, you eliminate 2 costs. 2 costs can harm you. Even if they were 20k, they just flat out can't harm you anymore. When it comes to 3 costs, they have 2 levels of power. Between the low end, that's 20, and the high end, that's 25. Low end can't hurt you anymore. It just can't. Like they need to combo to do literally anything. The high end, 25, requires a combo from your side to get out of it, but a majority of them are 20. So you eliminate all 1 drops, 2 drops, and like over 60% or so of 3 drops just by awakening. They can't harm you anymore. That's insane. You can also look at it like this. So when an opponent swings with a 20k, which would usually damage an awakened leader, it's useless against Broly, because Broly has 5k more than every other awakened leader in the game. So 20k is flat out useless. When they swing 25k into you, that's when they can actually damage you. So they need to commit their higher cost attacks to hurt their higher cost battle cards to hurt your leader. And from that point on, you just try to combo out of it. So yeah, that's basically another way to look at it. To point out how good Broly actually is, I want to talk about U7 and Ginyu matchups. Because I know that a lot of people like U7 and Ginyu, and they seem very scary on paper. However, Broly is a natural counter to these two decks if played correctly. So if you don't play Broly correctly against U7, then he doesn't do anything. So here's how you do it. Versus U7, you never swing at their leader. No, because the way that Self-Awakening works in red, it's gonna take them about 3 to 4 turns if they see all of their Self-Awakeners to awaken. You just don't swing at them. You don't let them awaken. If you're swinging into something, you swing into their battle cards. They need to play battle cards. So as you prolong their awakening as long as possible, because once you're 25k and the majority of their deck is made out of 15 and 20ks, they can't harm you anymore. Like they literally can't harm you anymore. And by the point U7 gets to awaken, you've already accumulated so many energy that now you're slamming him back with your big ramp payoffs. When it comes to Ginyu, you're just way too big. Like once you awaken, you're just way too big. All of Ginyu cards are 20k. You're 25 now. So they need to combo up to hit you. That's the big thing. Like you can say like, yeah, okay, there are combos, but basically if they combo to 25, you spend a 5k to go to 30. They need to up combo you. If they combo plus 10, you combo plus 10 and you're still bigger than they are. So that's how you fight these two very specific decks. In this part of the video, I will be going over ramping. So the following cards allow us to ramp for 1 energy. Destructive Strength, Vegeta, Son Goku, which is often mistaken for a fat cell, I mean look at the artwork, and Turles. Green Saiyans are really good at ramping, like really good at ramping. Let's dive into more details. I want to show you the best ramp turn that you can possibly have. So in this deck, you want to go second. Whenever you're playing a green, you want to go second. I mean, most of the time you want to go second. It's just way better. So you start your turn 2, you have 2 energy, and then you use the energy marker that you get for going second. You pay 3 and you play Destructive Strength and ramp. So your turn 3, now you're gonna have 4 energy. Yeah, you basically, in Broly, in Androids and in Gohan, you get to ramp super fast if you go second. Then let's talk about Goku. Goku is the most crucial ramp card that you have in the deck. It's by far the best ramp card in the deck. Why? Because he has this ability, when this card is played, or when a card from your energy is placed into your drop, add the top card of your deck into your energy in rest mode. What this basically does is, it allows you to use your activate main to KO one of your energies to draw and become 30k without losing the energy. Because once you do it, Goku will trigger and he will ramp you again. So basically he's eliminating your weakness, plus he ramps you. The thing with Broly is that if you're not ramping every single turn after you awaken, you're always stuck on the same amount of energy because you need to KO one to draw. And Goku basically allows you to go around it by first ramping you for 1, so now you're permanently +1, and then he replaces an energy that you kill. So yeah, definitely play Goku. Goku is amazing. We have a couple of payoffs in the deck, so we have 4. I wrote 3 because this is from a different video, because the payoffs are basically the same. Anyway, we have androids, 6 cost 40k double striker. On play, you KO 2 things which cost 3 or less. So remove small battle cards and then just swing into something. You have Broly, the boss monster that you get with the deck. He KOs any card in the game. He's the only card in the game that can KO literally anything without any restrictions. And then he attacks, draws a card, and he attacks twice for 45. You have the SER, the 7 cost 50k secret rare Son Gohan, which on play KOs the entire board, your opponent's board. He just flat out kills everything. And the last payoff that I want to add here is a 6 cost Gohan. On play, add the top card of your deck to your life. This is the only deck where I would actually recommend playing this one. I'm not a huge fan of it. However, because Broly goes down to 3, healing is super useful. So yeah, I recommend playing these guys, just so when you start clearing the opponent's board and when you get an opportunity window to heal, you can actually start restoring your lives. And once you go from 3 to 4, you're basically a normal awakened leader. The last thing that we'll be talking about before we dive into the turn breakdown is the archetype. So you get the Paragus blockers archetype. Is it any good? Is it good enough to run? It's not the best, because you will quickly ramp past its use. In green decks, early game doesn't matter as much, because you ramp to like 4 or 5 energy lightning fast, and then you just focus on your high end. However, running the blocker, let's say 2 copies, and the first Paragus, the 2 cost, that's good, because this 2 cost Paragus, the one with on play, is a self-awakener. He's much better than the other one, because what happens when your opponent doesn't wish to attack you? You need a self-awakener. Plus this one also gets you a blocker. Sometimes he gets you a blocker. So if you're running an archetype, run like 2 copies of the blocker, and of course run 4 copies of Paragus, who is a self-awakener, just so that you can awaken as fast as possible. Here is the deck list. It was built on Gameplan. The link is in the description below. Guys, the deck list, it's more of a blueprint to help you get started. It's not the optimized competitive build, but it's good enough to give you a general idea of the direction where you want to take Broly. Plus, it includes some of the cards that you want to run in Broly anyway. So if you want to run Broly and you don't know where to start, this is a good starting point. Plus, it serves the purpose for showing you the first 3 turns of the game. Speaking of which, let's check out the mulligan. For the mulligan, let's go with a ramp heavy package. So, 1 Gohan, the 1-drop. The 1-drop Gohan, I didn't talk about him in this video. This card is insane, because it looks at top 3 cards and it grabs you 1 Saiyan cost 5 or less. It can grab Destructive Strength as well, because the card is a Saiyan. It grabs so much from your deck. This card is amazing. Grab Destructive Strength and grab the Vegeta for the follow-up turn, for turn 3. So yeah, this is basically your mulligan. In this part of the video, I'm going to show you your first 3 turns. Now that you know the basics, it's time to check out how to play this deck. We'll be going over turns 1, 2, and 3. We'll be using the provided deck list. We're assuming that you went second. Usually, we assume that you went first. But here we're assuming that you went second, because going second is better. And that you have kept the show mulligan. Alright, let's see what this deck can do. Turn 1, the usual setup. This is what our normal turn 1 looks like. So we start charge 1, we pay 1 to play the Gohan, we look at top 3, we get a Saiyan, let's say we hit Goku, bottom deck the rest, then we attack with the leader, because we went second, we can attack, we draw a card, and then we just pass the turn. So with Gohan you prioritize getting your 5 cost ramp cards, unless you didn't get Vegeta in your mulligan, or you didn't get Destructive Strength in your mulligan. You prioritize your 5 costs. Turn 2, our best ramp turn. So this is basically the breakdown of the energy marker play. So we start, charge 1, draw 1. We have 2 energy. We use the marker to gain 3 for the turn. We pay 3 to play Destructive Strength. We ramp from the top of our deck in active mode. We ramp Turles. Let's say we hit Turles, whatever, hit something. We attack with our leader, we draw 1, the attack resolves, and then we use the last energy to play, let's say, this 1-drop. Or Gohan, whichever 1-drop you have, could be the blocker. But in this case, let's say it's Goku. His own play triggers, we draw 1, and then we pass the turn. Turn 3! Wait, turn 3? You mean turn 4? We start the turn, we charge 1, now we have 4. We draw 1, pay 4, we play the Vegeta. Vegeta ramps us by 1 energy. Then first, let's say that we're on 4 lives now. We attack with Broly first. Then we draw 1. Then we awaken mid-attack. Because otherwise, if we awaken first, then we don't get the draw from the attack. Then we ramp 1 of our lives. The attack resolves. We attack with Vegeta, the attack resolves, and then we just pass the turn. Before we end the video, let's quickly jump into the summary. Broly looks like a unique, strong ramp deck. You ramp very consistently, and your payoffs are really worth the effort. That's what makes Green so insane. The payoffs are absurd in Green. You're capable of hard stopping some decks. That's what we have seen with Ginyu. Particularly with Ginyu, you can just hard stop it, no problem. And you can hard stop U7 if you play correctly, due to being a 25k baseline power leader. However, you're losing a lot of draw power if you choose not to kill your energy each turn. Unfortunately, you need to keep killing your energy to draw. That's a bit of a downside. But other than that, Broly looks amazing. If you're just jumping into Fusion World, I highly recommend giving Broly a go. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below. Will you give starter Broly a go? Is this the starter deck that you will be getting? Are you excited about trying out Broly? What do you think, Broly or Gohan? Which green deck do you want to try out first? Let me know in the comments. I read all of your comments. I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And guys, while you're here, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Share the video. Help us get to 4k subs. We're super close. And then I'm gonna give away a booster box. This has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.